Good day everyone, and welcome to your first lesson on how to drive traffic through the apps to foreign networks. Today we are going to share the basics and prepare you for this relatively easy business and gonna tell you what and where you should get and how to use it. I'm Maxim from GamblingPro, and I'm Stas from GamblingPro. And for those of you who don't know us, we actually work in GamblingPro. We provide you with support, we are your affiliate managers and always answer all your questions in Telegram. And for those who don't know, GamblingPro is one of the major affiliate programs running such verticals as gambling and betting. We have over 800 offers and work with all possible geo and payment methods, whether it's CPA, CPI, CPV or revenue share. Perhaps you have seen us before or watched our reports posted on forums. And those of you who want to talk to us personally may come to our stand at CPA Live Moscow 2019 and meet us as well as other affiliates. And now we're gonna tell you about the course and how much money you can get here. Actually, a lot. So now we're gonna tell you what you will learn from this course and start with how much money you can get. You can hit unlimited numbers. The most important is to choose your offer, find a good creative and buy cheap placements. Calculate the deposit with a formula to understand your budget. Actually, the condition of your payouts is the successful test and scaling. We know people who hit a lot. It can be about 1,000 of approved deposits per day and to infinity. Upon the course completion, you will know how to choose the offer right, get Facebook accounts, create and optimize advertisement campaigns, make creatives which really convert. So you will learn everything to drive your apps to foreign networks. I would like to highlight the uniqueness of this course, taking into account that we are not planning to conduct such courses anymore. With this course, we will cover the whole stuff which we have accumulated for years working in gambling vertical, embedding apps to conversions funnel, and studying geo all over the world. It will be relevant and practical and full guidance on how to launch apps. So we should work hard and do our best to get the maximum profit. And now it's time to tell you why we have chosen foreign geos to drive the traffic. The most important thing is we work with apps for a long time, and during the last year we were giving you manuals, cases, video on how to work with apps in Russian space. So that's why we want to devote this course to foreign geos. Moreover, there are some non-obvious reasons why we decided to go for foreign. The reason is simple but not obvious. So the first is the complexity to hit KPI. Probably it's due to significant income gaps in Russia. And it's hard to maintain the quality when going from initial to iterated deposits and the amount. It's easy and you may get the low quality traffic which will cover your KPI. So in other words, we may drive the traffic perfectly one week and another week everything doesn't go well. And then everything is perfect and it's like a seesaw which iterates. And if you go for foreign, all people have the same income. $20 are 2 packets of cigarettes, and you may run traffic consistently. And all these conclusions are justified. When we drove the traffic to foreign networks, we observed the stability over the average CPS and stable percentage of retention level. It's much easier to scale on foreign networks than on Russian ones, just because the long-running quality is more predictable than on Russian networks. But it doesn't mean that Russia is weak and irrelevant geo for traffic arbitrage. It's awesome geo and we have exclusive offers for it. And one more thing why we start targeting foreign networks, that's because Russia has some kind of overheating. Everybody is running traffic through the apps in Russia, like this geo is familiar to us and we do not bother about translating creatives, VPN, payments, and etc. So they just drive traffic within Russia and the highest competition, the highest auction and CPI. The typical thing when the CPI in Russia costs more than Germany or in France. So just too much competition. That's why we choose a less loaded market. Let's just say there is in Russia which is loaded more than all other geos, so it's easy to go for foreign. At the same time, there is one quite evident thing, that there are not many brands in Russia. Actually, there are many brands, but all of them are well worn. There are casinos which are run for a long time, and they're driving much traffic from Facebook. And the amount of accounts exceeds the one on foreign networks. But it doesn't mean that Russia is a relevant geo or the geo you should avoid of. No. A lot of people work with Russia and do high volumes there. Some top teams, and if you use fresh creatives and look for new and unique offers, you may drive traffic successfully there. That's for sure. For example, we have some private offers you cannot find in public, and we can come to manager and just say like, we run 100 daily, what can you advise us? And then you can run traffic profitably. And to connect all these things together, we're gonna tell you step by step how it works. There are some tops of the Russian market. And for example, the first one gives you $40 per deposit. The conversion for this offer from install to registration would equal 1 to 3. And from registration to deposit is 1 to 6. So it means for every 18th install, we get $40. In order to run this offer, the CPI should be around $2.22. Let's see the second casino. The conversion from the install to registration is 1 to 2. And every 8th registration is the first deposit, but not every 8th registration is qualification. In other words, it may not pass the baseline. Considering the conversion to pass the baseline is $20, you may get only during testing or via emailing us, and we're gonna tell you about it. You would be able to do calculations for positive and negative conversions. Summing up the above method, we decided to give you the explicit information which is not going around yet. So let's put ourselves together, go for foreign networks, get good profit, and we're gonna share with you approaches, offers and creatives which really work here and bring profit. So, payment models. CPI is the most rare model. Usually you got paid for the install of some app to Android or iOS. Always the Russian geo. The CPI varies from $1.5 to $2.5 for Android, and for iOS it's from $2 to $4. Our webs raised the bets up to $6.7 per install of iOS app. As a rule, advertisers have such app, and we cannot insert the several products or include different products in one offer. It's like one offer per one casino. The good thing about this payment method, the user doesn't need to get registered. The apps are connected to his ID, and he gets rich faster and the deposit button. And it's much easier to make calculations, so you see installs and may calculate ROI. You don't pass through install to registration and etc., so the calculation is easier. Usually the KPI there is just 1% of refunds for a certain day, for the second, third, or in a week. So they can go down if the quality is good. That's why if you choose this offer, you had better kick your manager so he could provide you with the intermediate result. CPR is a payment model when you are paid for registration. So you are paid when the person is registered. CPR is much common for foreign networks. In Russia, this payment model is very rare. I haven't seen it much. It took place someday, but then, fraud came because, it was easy to do it. You didn't even need to throw 50 rubles in there. Therefore, in Russia, the model was refused. But in foreign networks, this model works pretty well. There are many offers with CPR in our system. There are different gradations for payments of CPR offers. Some of them are paid $3 per registration, $5, even 20. And here we adhere the option where it's better off to get 20 and hit more money. But as a matter of fact, it's not like this. CPR offers often also have gears. Somewhere traffic is cheaper, somewhere is more expensive. Somewhere you are asked to fill out 3 lines, somewhere 15 lines. And because of this bid is not stable. Anyway, you can just get the stable ROI just as easy as it looks like. Moreover, the higher bid per registration, the better is KPI, or the better targeting. In our experience, we have observed some advertisers who control the targeting up to Android version. So they don't want to get a lot of registrations with the insolvent audience. So they monitor the demographic and choose only top and wealthy geo. As a rule, the payout is less for such geo, where the traffic is cheap. For example, we have a nice offer, Groterama, for Slovakia, Slovenia, Croatia, Czech Republic for $4. A lot of webmasters drive traffic over there and come up to caps, because the traffic is cheap and is paid off well. CPA is the most popular model of payment. It's supported by many offers. It's a model when you got paid for deposit. The deposit can be a minimum or as a part of some amount. All these things are specified within the offer, accumulated there. Let's speak about the baseline. The baseline is when your deposit, let's say the person has done a deposit, and it's be considered only when its sum reaches the definite mark. Usually it's $20. And there are offers with a minimum deposit, when any sum which goes into casino hits the payments point. This is common model for Russian and foreign networks, wherever, because it's more transparent and it's hard doing a fraud over there. They look for players' activity and so on. Let's talk a little about which bids you can meet for the model CPA in Russia. In Russia, it starts from $40, $50 and to $60. It depends on a product funnel and may reach 80, 100, and again, it depends on how well your traffic is paid off. And it's easy. The more deposits people get, and if your traffic is of high quality, the higher bid you get. And it's because the whole world is broken down to several groups. First-tier countries, second-tier countries, and third-tier countries. And you get paid payouts depending on to which of these countries your geo belongs to. For example, in France, the social traffic can be bought beginning from $120, and in Poland the start price is $60, regardless the source you will drive the contacts from. It doesn't matter for the app, only geo matters. And it's one more reason why we have chosen foreign networks for driving social traffic through the apps. Having understood this payment model, you can find good payouts on cheap geos. Some geo on CPI can be 2-3 times cheaper comparing to Russian ones, and that's what we're gonna teach you in CPS payment model. More likely you will never face it, and even if you do face it, you won't work with it. But to broaden your mind, we're gonna tell you what is it. CPS is a model of payment, but not out of the gambled money, but out of the deposited ones. It means you get your percentage out of the deposit sum and not out of the player's bets. The good thing about these offers is that you never will go negative. So it's positive revenue share. So it's impossible to go negative with this model. I think we have met only one offer which supported this payment model. It was a native app, so it's really a rare option, but you can go positive using it. I have met people who drive their traffic successfully using this model, even when they had the CPA of $6. Some people deposited $4,000, and if the 50% was the revenue share, we would get to 2,000. It's great. The last model is revenue share, or RS in Russia. This is primary payment model which came to the arbitration market and became available to affiliates. And it's the most available, I guess, if you go directly to an advertiser. Even the fraud is available over there and nobody will tell you anything. And we're gonna explain you why. Revenue share is the percentage of payout based on money lost by a player. The percentage varies from 20 to 50. If your player loses money in casino, you get a percentage of this loss. If he wins, you go negative. So, you pull out of the bookmaker's office all ups and downs. So, a person wins, you go negative. A person loses, you go positive. It's like a seesaw. The payouts in revenue share often vary and depend on whether the casino has a license or not. When a casino doesn't have a license, they can set any winning percentage. And here is the revenue share. This percentage can be better for you. If a casino has a license, you cannot tweak a winning percentage. If a casino has a license, you cannot tweak a winning percentage. All winnings and percentages given to players are controlled by providers. Talking about the bidding in revenue share, it's based on a percentage and begins from 15 and up to 70. And this gap is due to NRG and GGR. Usually nobody says about it in the offers frameworks. But we are telling you these things so you could calculate your profit correctly. So don't be taken in by the high percentage of revenue share. It often happens we see 70% and don't see other offers, but I assure you that some offers with GGR of 30% give you more than those with NGR of 70%. It applies to both bookmakers and casinos, therefore it's worthy to pay attention to. Out of this, we should mention hybrid offers, which combine several payment models. For example, CPR plus CPA, CPA plus revenue share or revenue share plus CPL. In this offer, the payment per action is lower than in solo offers or one model of payment. Earlier, such offers were quite popular, and a lot of advertisers mixed their products on a paid aim. But with the time, this concept was worn out. Considering this model of payment is suitable for some traffic sources, for example, pushes where there is a good conversions on registrations, but less conversion on deposits, you probably get better payouts comparing the offers for a deposit. In our case, we do not consider these offers because we leverage only one source for driving traffic using CPA, and we almost don't have this payment model in our system. So it's just to give you an overview. So as soon as the payment model is chosen, we should choose the appropriate offer. We will draft off key elements of the offer which are hold, baseline, KPI, and qualification. We're gonna tell you about it in detail. Our webmasters don't like this. Webmasters don't like this section, so we're gonna cover it in full, so no questions would be left over. About when the payment is to come and why it takes so long. There are some things about hold. Hold is the time for which an advertiser reviews and the quality of the traffic you drove during test or whatever period. So, why do we need a hold? For the whole time when you put in some deposits, an advertiser will take a look on how these deposits behave. If the deposits are dead and do not come back to a platform, if there is no redeposition, if the advertiser doesn't like an average check, he can reject your leads or extend the hold. There are several outcomes for a hold. You would pay for your leads and proceed with the same conditions during the specific cap, not exceeding 5-10 deposits daily or weekly. So an advertiser buys out your traffic only in specific amounts. At the same time, the hold remains in force. The second option, you are said everything is alright, and you can drive traffic without a cap, or you are given higher cap. For example, from 20 to 50 leads per week. At the same time, the hold can be reduced from 30 days to 14 or from 30 days for 7. Sometimes it reduces from 14 days to 7. It depends on offer and initial settings. Or you just got paid for test traffic, and that's because an advertiser didn't like the quality. If even after the prolonged hold the traffic didn't show any activity, and an advertiser doesn't want to buy out your traffic any longer for such price, of course you may agree on the price which would be lucrative for an advertiser, but more likely it won't happen. Therefore, everything you take an offer, either read the terms on hold or ask us about them, and we're gonna explain you what hold is for this offer, and in which cases you may count on reducing this hold. We are for the holds to be reduced for you, and you could reach high volumes. So, also, some offers have KPI and some offers do not have KPI, but it doesn't mean they do not exist. They are just internal, and an advertiser doesn't want to name them to avoid fraud. But when KPI is specified in the offer, it's a base for registering your traffic. KPI can be different. Sometimes repeated deposits are required, sometimes a specific turnover. There are no exact frames for determining KPI. An advertiser sets them individually and it varies. And one downside to be mentioned. Apart from deviations in multi-accounting, for example, when players register one more casino account with another email to abuse bonuses for the first deposit, it's reviewed on a payment. And chargebacks, namely the refunds. Such stuff is common for foreign offers. In particular, the highest percentage of chargebacks in the USA. KPI sets conditions your traffic should pass through. So KPIs are set by an advertiser. And often your performance is considered to reach better benefit for you and an advertiser. And the most important, then there is an offer with KPI, and you don't need to drive a test traffic to know the conversions rate. You may email to us and we will provide you with the info on what amount of conversions hits KPI. Like, hi guys, please tell me how long it takes to approve the conversion on pinup, and we will let you know. So let's sum up once again. We choose an offer, ask for leads approval for KPI, look at the conversion from install to registration and from registration to deposit, and calculate what installs price is okay for you, with you, to go positive, and that's it. You just start testing, take creatives, go testing, and watch the stats. And now we're gonna tell you which offer we will work with during this course. We have chosen Volcano Vegas, Poland. We have been working with it for a long time and know its conversion and approaches which work and know the ROI. And now we're going to talk about the conversion, and one of the main indicators is install to registration. So what amount of installs entails registration? In average for this offer it's 1 to 4 or 7. So each fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh install gives us registration. In average, install costs from 1.5 or 0.5 to $1.5. And with this ratio, we can work. Next key indicator is registration to deposit. So which amount of registration entails deposits? In average for this offer it's from 1 to 10 or from 1 to 20, it depends. Every 10 or 20 registration may entail deposit, and you ask, why there is difference? Why the difference is so big? So install to registration, registration to deposit, it depends highly on which audience we target. We may get the audience where installs would cost $3, and conversion to registration would be 1 to 2, and from registration to deposit is 1 to 12. And in total we will go positive. Or we can just get the audience where the CPI is $1, but the conversion to registration would be 1 to 5, and from registration to deposit 1 to 20. So it depends, and you should look at while driving the traffic. We provide you with just common numbers. Volcano Vegas is almost ideal offer to start with, because it gives you test cap during the period of which we run 20 deposits. And on these deposits we get the prompt feedback on what quality they have. And if they are valid, so only first deposits are without zero activity, but they do not reach key indicators of an advertisers. Then it's more likely we got paid for the traffic and be asked not to drive traffic anymore. Moreover, on this offer, if you have average or below average traffic performance, you may get 7 days hold. And if your traffic will be suitable for running, you will get the turnover faster for it comparing to other offers. We have driven this offer for pretty long time, and it's in high volumes. Owing to quality of traffic was good. It doesn't cut your conversions, and there are no chargebacks or advertiser makes advances. An advertiser makes advances to you, and ROI results in 100 or a bit higher. So let's move to how we make creatives. Those who work with CIS and speak Russian, for them Russian is native, and they feel free to come up with text and creatives. And they think if they go for foreign, they would face problems with errors in text. But that's wrong. There are high-skilled translators and neural networks which may translate even slang expressions, and one of these translators is Depot.com. We use this translator when making creatives, and it works great. In order to create video, we use two programs. One is for Mac, another is for Windows. If you have Mac, we advise you to use Final Cut Pro. If you have Windows, Adobe Premiere. These variants have basic options for making a creative. It's easy to leverage. You may as well order creatives from professionals, show him examples and say you need something like that. It costs approximately 200 to 300 rubles, and you can see on the screen the examples of creative we ordered. In order to make creative, you should know how they look like with the time when you will have done some of your own creatives and run them. With every running, you're gonna understand better what converts and then make creatives on your own. But on the start, you should figure out the way how to get them. You may use spy tools, and one of the foreign services you may use is adspy.com. We consider adspy.com as a top service for finding a creative. We have tested over 15 spy services, and adspy seems to be the most optimal one. Now we're gonna tell you a bit how to use spy tools, and you may also find a link in the description below on how to use spy tools. And if you get the idea of how to do it, having read the article, you will be able to leverage it for all spy tools, because all they are similar. In order to find creatives using apps in AdSpy, you should type in URL something like play.google, because all links to apps have this URL, and therefore we will manage to find creative we are interested in. Apart of searching via URL, we may use keywords like jackpot, money, and thus find proper creatives. We may filter it by country, by device, by impressions. And after these actions, we will get a huge amount of creatives which we may tweak subsequently or just run. And now we're gonna talk about the most fearful topic for the newbies, on where to take accounts after the existing one is banned. We know there are such things as making fake accounts, but with every update, Facebook locates these fake accounts better. These accounts are banned fast. It's hard to work with them. So, if you are newbie and don't have fake accounts and you don't want to care about it, it's just easy to buy them. And we are, from our side, are ready to give you a reliable seller of Facebook accounts, whose services we use by ourselves. His contacts are on the screen. You may text him to buy accounts. It's not a seller's advertisement, and we don't tell you that creating fake accounts doesn't work anymore. We just share what we have, so you could start as soon as possible after this course, because Facebook links tend to extinguish fast. Next lesson we will together prepare creatives for our first campaign for running in Facebook. We're gonna do it in video and you as a home task. And also we find out that creative is tend now and convert and which ones just waste your budget in gambling and betting niche. And we're gonna optimize our conversion. So this lesson is coming to its end. The next 4 lessons will be also on video, because we consider it as our most comfortable format where we cut out unnecessary things, and it's available personally for you. And we share some tips and hacks, provide you with sellers, so we do all this stuff. You will get a mail on when it happens, approximately in 2 days, and it will be available on the same website. And to ensure the efficiency of the learning process, we have prepared for you a home task you're gonna do, and which help you to achieve a result. And the first task for today is to subscribe for our GamblingPro chat. It's one of the most large chats on gambling, where you may find some insights, hacks, our manuals and cases, and where we can promptly answer all your questions. You may also subscribe for our group GamblingPro News in Telegram. The second task is to purchase AdSpy, so you could find creative. You may buy it on your own or just find a company in our chat and to share the cost. And the third task is to find a person who could help you with video creatives. You may also do it on your own. It's hardly take more than 6 hours. And some good news: as the course has been started, the bot sent a notification to one lucky person who won the iPhone. He can contact us and take it away. Summing up the introduction lesson, we would like to highlight that our course will last until the 11th. And you may see us personally on the 12th during the pre-party CPA Live and discuss some moments connected to the course or ask some details which were not clear for you, and also get some insights on other geo and offers. We organized the pre-party CPA Live in Moscow City for more than 400 participants, with hookah, music, shows, alcohol, so everything gonna be great. And there also will be a networking space. We can discuss things and share some private tips and hacks. So we will be waiting for you, for all of you on November 12th, and we will have we have prepared a limited number of tickets for those of you who wanna get to this event. There are 100 tickets, and using a promo code COURSE, you can get 20% of discount, not only for the pre-party but for the whole conference as well. So all type of tickets excepting VIP. VIP may come for free to our pre-party. And once again, it's a great opportunity. By the time our lessons will have been released and you will have more or maybe less questions. Anyway, you may come and talk to us personally on pre-party and then on the conference, or maybe even visit after party. All these events will be held on November 12 and 13 in Moscow. We will wait for you. So now the first lesson is about to be finished. I'm Maxim from GamblingPro and I'm Stas from GamblingPro. Wait for the news and next lesson, which gonna be released in 2 days. Bye.